also start sharing my screen. Just going to give it another minute. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for joining today. Today is our first Apex Solar Power Home Battery Backup Lunch and Learn webinar. We'll be doing a series of these in the future, different topics. The first topic following this will be on roofing. The second after that will be on electric vehicle charging. So let's go ahead and get started. Today we're going to be covering a few topics. I'm going to just quick sidebar here on the housekeeping. It looks, I had originally set this up as a meeting, but it looks like it's in a webinar form, so I can't see who's here, or I really can't see anything except for I see my PowerPoint. So I apologize. It's kind of odd because I wanted a little bit more interactivity with those of you on the call. But anyway, we'll make do with what we've got, and we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to share an overview of Apex Solar Power. I'll go into battery backup storage and what are the benefits, how to size the batteries for your home, the brands and different options we offer, incentives available, and then I really wanted questions and answers from you, but I'm not sure if we'll be able to do that. I'll play around with that at the end of here. So let's go ahead. A little bit about us. So Apex Solar Power, we're located in Queensbury, New York, which is just north of Albany, and we cover all of New England. So New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Vermont, northern New Jersey. We just opened up the Carolinas, so North and South Carolina. And we're a small company, about 100 employees. We're very nimble, very diversified. We offer solar, we offer roofing, we offer electric vehicle charging stations, both residential as well as commercial, and why we're all here today, battery backup. We offer battery backup solutions if you need an off-grid solution, maybe for a small vacation home or a cabin in the woods and you don't have grid power, or if you are connected to the grid, and really what we're talking about today is grid-tied battery backup. We are NAPCEP accredited. It's the North American Board of Certified Energy Practitioners. We're very proud of that. We're the first ones in New York State to get that accreditation, and we're about 1 in 5 that have the whole company NAPCEP certified throughout New England. It's the North American Board of Certified Energy Practitioners. So why battery backup? Traditionally, if you wanted to have security and stability, if the grid go out, you would traditionally get a LP or a gas generator. The thing about traditional generators is they're noisy, right? They have to cycle every week. They're rumbling out in your yard, and they take traditional fossil fuels, whether that be propane or natural gas or gasoline. With a lithium-ion battery backup, you don't have any of that. It's a clean backup solution that never makes a noise and doesn't need refueling. So, how grid-tied storage works. So, if you have an existing solar array, your solar comes in, hits the inverter, goes to the main service panel and out to the grid, giving you kilowatt hour credits through net metering. When you add a battery to that system, it comes off of the inverter and makes sure that the solar comes in and charges up that battery, giving you a full charge of um, backup battery. When the grid goes down, I'll back that up a little bit. Solar comes in, hits the inverter, it makes sure the battery is charged, goes out to the grid, continuing to give you kilowatt-hour net metering credits. If power from the grid goes down, then the main service panel continues to load your home because it then is feeding off the storage capacity within the battery. And it happens very seamlessly, just like the battery on your laptop. If you unplug your laptop from the wall, you've got a battery there, and you don't even see the flicker of the screen. The battery on your home works the same exact way. So the benefits of storage is really backup power. That's, in my opinion, number one. So again, never makes a noise, never needs refueling as long as you've got solar in place. So in the event that the grid goes down, which we're seeing more power outages than we have in the past, they're more frequent. They're happening for longer durations. The battery allows you to continue and have the comfort of your home without grid power for a bit. And how it works is, as long as you've got solar's coming in, your home's being powered by the solar. That battery's being topped off, and then when the sun goes down, you're working off of the battery. So it's a really great backup power solution. The next is security and safety. You know, I hear so many times from my customers, we just lost power and my freezer went bad and I had to throw away all my food. Or I have a required medical device and I need to make sure that that is operating if and when the power goes out. So just having that peace of mind is really comforting. So knowing that everything is going to be fully operational without interruption. And the third benefit would be time of use. Time of use is happening a lot on the West Coast, and it's starting to happen with certain utility companies and in certain load zones throughout New England. Time of use is when the utility company creates basically peak hours, times in the day which your cost per kilowatt hour is going to increase. Traditionally, that's in the morning when everybody's up and getting ready and consumption is high, and then in the evenings. Again, traditionally when people come home from work or school and the TV goes on and the dishwasher goes on and the washing machine goes on, the utility company will jack those rates up and those times. It's called time of use. Well, the battery allows you to say, wait a minute, I'm going to power my home through my solar array during the day. And in the morning before the sun's fully up, I'm going to pull from my battery. I'll charge that battery during the day when I've got my solar production. And then I'm going to continue to live off the battery in the evening, bypassing all of those time of use rate hikes, rate increases. So it allows you to really monetize the storage capacity in your battery and just adds a tremendous benefit. We always couple our grid-tied arrays with lithium-ion, either the Generac power cell or the Tesla Powerwall. The advantages of lithium-ion are you have a higher depth of discharge, meaning the battery can drain right down to zero and come back up, and the frequency of that depth of discharge, it handles it much better than traditional batteries. It also has a much higher, longer lifespan. For example, the Tesla Powerwall is warrantied out for 10 years, Same with the Generac power cell. You would never get that kind of warranty with a traditional battery. Much higher efficiencies, a lot less maintenance. The days of scrubbing, your battery terminals or making sure that they're topped off with water, that does not exist. So, and the last and probably the largest benefit of lithium ion is it's a plug and play solution. We can very easy come in behind no matter what type of solar array you have, whom installed it, doesn't matter. And we can put a lithium ion solution on that system. It's very, very easy. So how we size your batteries really depends on your specific needs. It's not a one size fits all approach. So I would highly recommend, if you're interested in getting a battery backup solution, go to apexsolarpower.com/battery backup. There's a quick form you can fill out. One of my reps will reach out to you and work with you. And by the way, due to COVID and everything that's going on, all of our sales presentations and working with our customers is just like this. It's all web-based. So we're not coming to people's homes. We're not sitting at your kitchen table. It's you choose a day and time that works and is convenient for you. Coordinate it with, again, one of our sales reps, and they'll meet with you just like I'm meeting with you today. All web-based, as long as you have a computer or tablet, an internet connection, and we can work with you real time on sizing your batteries. Every home is different. I heat my home different than you may heat your home. Things that are important to me may not be important to you, and vice versa. So, we'll sit down with you. We'll work with you to make sure, okay, what's important? Is it your hot water? Is it your furnace? Is it a medical device? Is it, you work from home and you need to have the internet? Knowing all of those allows us to say, okay, this is what you need. This is what we recommend. So again, apexsolarpower.com/battery backup, and we'll customize a quote that's perfect for your home. The brands and options we offer really vary on, the brands that we offer are the Tesla Powerwall, which is a tried and true plug and play AC coupled solution, and the Generac Power Cell. We take sort of a fork in the road here. If you have an existing solar array, meaning you've got panels on your roof, it's got an inverter, or maybe it has micro inverters, we're going to most likely recommend the Tesla Powerwall. If you don't have solar and you're looking to go solar plus have storage, or want to future-proof your system for storage down the road, we're going to recommend the Generac Power Cell. Two different approaches, both excellent solutions. And the reason being is the Tesla Powerwall is AC coupled, meaning it will work with any inverter that's already in place. The Generac Power Cell comes with its own islanding inverter, okay? So I don't want to go too in the weeds here, but if you have an existing solar array, maybe you've got a solar edge inverter, or you have Enphase microinverters, to put a Generac system on that, we would have to lift your panels, swap out the inverter. It would be a more costly install, and we don't want to do that. We just want to provide a turnkey solution that meets your needs. So if you've got solar, we're going to recommend the Tesla Powerwall. If you don't have solar already, we're going to recommend the Generac Power Cell. Hope that makes sense. So a little bit about the Tesla Powerwall. Again, it's a fully integrated AC battery, meaning it comes after the inverter and is plug and play with any existing solar array. It's very simple to connect in your home, and it's really reliable, and it's extremely clean. The Tesla Powerwall is really meant for an inside mounting or inside installation. If you were in California or Hawaii, outdoors would be fine. Lithium ion works the best at about north of 50 degrees, 55, 60 degrees. Somewhere in that range north, you're going to get optimal performance out of lithium ion. It says here its operating temperature is minus 4 Fahrenheit to 122. Yes, it'll operate at those temperatures, but not at peak performance. Peak performance for lithium ion is, north of 60 degrees. The size of the Powerwall, because I always get this question, well, do I have room in my utility closet or do I need to create something special for it? It's about the dimensions of the front of a dishwasher, but it's only 6 inches deep, 45 inches high, 30 inches across, and 6 inches deep. The storage capacity of the Powerwall is 13.2 thousand watt hours, kWh. 13.2 kWh. It operates at about 5,000 continuous watts. So 5,000, if anybody knows a 5,000 watt generator, that's the type of max continuous power that the Powerwall has, with the storage capacity of 13.2 thousand watt hours. Now, 13.2 thousand watt hours sounds like a lot, and in some cases it is. It may be everything you need. The Powerwall operates at 25 amps, so anything that is on a single breaker on your home is under 25 amps, and you'll be fine with a Tesla Powerwall. Anything that's on a double pole breaker or a double breaker may lend itself to requiring 2 Powerwalls. 2 Powerwalls combined gives you 50 amps. Okay, so any really heavy load requirements, whether it be geothermal, welding equipment. I know that sounds silly, but we have customers that have welding equipment, hot tubs. Some people find that's a priority. I don't know if I would. Electric vehicle charging. Those are all heavier loads that require upwards of 50 amps. And we're going to recommend that you get 2 Powerwalls. If you don't have any of those heavy load requirements, 1 Powerwall is all you need, certainly for priority loads, and it may take care of your entire home. So again, that's why we take a very consultative approach. We work with you to make sure that we're sizing the Powerwalls to meet your needs. I don't want customers calling and saying, you said it would do X and it's only doing Y. So we want to make sure it's sized properly. 5,000 watts, 13.2 thousand watt hours, 1 Powerwall. And they can be stacked. You can have 2, 3, 4 Powerwalls, depending on how much power backup you need. All right. And again, this would be an example of how we install it. By the way, besides just our solar consultants, once you decide, yeah, I want to go ahead and purchase a Powerwall, you'll be assigned a project manager who will answer any really heavy technical questions you may have. We'll put together a design plan set. We handle all of your permitting, inspections, utility connections, all of that for you. So it's nothing that you need to do. We handle all of that for you. So in this example, solar comes in from the home, hits the inverter, charges up the Tesla, hits the main service panel through what they call the backup energy gateway. We're now on our second phase. It's the 2.0 energy gateway. It's a very sophisticated communications device that communicates between the grid and your main service panel. The nice thing about the energy gateway is you can back up your whole home, but if you have a couple of those double pole breaker heavy loads and you're like, those are not a priority for me, the gateway now has 6 breakers within it that we can isolate those loads and take it off of the main service panel. So if you say, grid goes down, I don't need my welding equipment, we can take that welding equipment, put it on the energy gateway, and exclude it from the main service panel. Very, very easy. The nice thing is during a grid down situation, as long as you've got solar, you're powering your main service panel. The main service panel in the gateway recognizes there's not enough solar to power the home. We're going to start pulling from the Powerwall. And it all happens very quick, very seamless, so there's no interruption to your home. Okay. Hope that makes sense. Let's see here. Let's go over to Generac. So the Generac, again, the Generac would be if you don't have solar. If you don't have solar already, but you want solar and storage, or to future-proof for storage down the road, we're going to recommend the Generac PowerCell. Quick sidebar, Generac, we all know that name, right? Generac has been around for 30 plus years. They've traditionally been a generator company, both whole home standby generators, portable generators, and so on. Well, up in Maine, there was this little company called Pika Energy. Well, Pika Energy, founded by a bunch of MIT guys, created the most robust islanding inverter and storage that hit the market for the best price point. Generac took note of Pika Energy and watched them for a few years and bought them. So if anybody on this call knew of Pika Energy, Generac bought Pika Energy, and basically the old Pika system is now the Generac PowerCell. But because of the strength of Generac, and they've got 600 million in, they're huge. They have the capabilities to really take what was Pika into the next level. They're integrating, the storage capacity is increasing. It's all very modular. They're just integrated a built-in transfer switch so that you can put a generator onto the islanding inverter as well, so that if the sun goes down and the storage capacity of your battery starts to go low, your whole home standby generator can integrate and charge those batteries up, turn the generator off, continue to go clean with the battery. So it's a very dynamic system. The nice thing about the PowerCell, because it's modular, it's basically, I don't know if you can see my mouse, but this is your battery cabinet. And inside this battery cabinet, you can slide in enough battery modules to meet your needs. So they have the 9, the 12, the 15, and the 17. The 17 is now going to be an 18. And this is just reflective of kWh, 1,000 watt hours of backup power. So again, if you might not just need a small battery backup solution, the 9 might be all you need. But if all of a sudden your family grows, or you're like, wait a minute, I just got an electric vehicle, or I want my air conditioning, I didn't think I wanted my air conditioning, you can always add more batteries to this cabinet very easily, slide them right in, and it increases the storage capacity of your system. So that's the PowerCell. Now the PowerCell is a little more robust than 1 Tesla Powerwall. Right out of the gate with the PowerCell, you don't have a limitation of 25 amps. You would have 50 amps. So, and you can see here with the 18, that's 6 battery modules, you're at 50 amps. So any of those double pole breakers that you might have in the main service panel, you can use with the Generac PowerCell as it sits. And the reason being is it has this islanding inverter. We're not just plugging it in on the AC side, it's actually a DC coupled battery solution with 50 amps 18 kWh, and is about the size of continuous power would be a 9,000 watt generator. And I'm using this 18 kWh, 6 battery modules. The Tesla Powerwall operates at 5,000 watts. The Generac power cell operates at 9,000 watts when maxed out at the 18 kWh. Okay, and you can actually stack 2 of these cabinets, 12 battery modules, 36 kWh on this single inverter at 50 amps. So if you don't have solar, you have big load requirements, the Generac power cell is hands down the way to go. But again, it's really flexible with its sizing. Let's see here. Anything? Again, this is a inside application. So if you've got a finished basement, a heated garage, a finished utility room, that's where we'd want to house this unit. I think I covered most of this, the technical side. If you have a commercial building and you're on 3-phase power, we can actually get up to the 11, the size 11 inverter rather than the 7600 inverter. 7600 would be a residential application. The X11 402 would be a 3-phase or commercial application. And how it integrates, again, the Tesla Powerwall was if you already had solar panels and you already had an inverter. The Generac has its own complete system. So rather than optimizers on the roof or a microinverter, they have PV links, which allows a series of modules to be in small strings so that it optimizes against shading and things like that. Also allows for string level monitoring. And then these PV links communicate with the inverter, top off your battery, and out to the main service panel in the grid. Again, they do now allow for an automatic transfer switch. So if you've got a generator, maybe you have a Generac whole home standby generator at your home, you want to get solar, we can add your existing whole home standby generator into this system as another layer of safety and security. So first, you're feeding off the solar. Solar's not there, the production goes down, you have your battery. The battery starts to go low in its depths of discharge. It senses all of that. Your whole home generator turns on, tops this battery off, and then turns the generator off. All seamlessly, all fully integrated, all one company, which is pretty powerful. I wish I could take some questions on this. I apologize, I can't. In the future, I'll get that figured out. So the really exciting thing that's happening is there's incentives, right? I have a lot of customers, I meet with them every day, and they say, Taylor, I just need safety security. I need to back up a few critical loads in my home. I'm thinking of either getting a whole home standby generator or a battery. I don't know which one I want to get. I already have solar, but the generator's loud. It needs refueling. I don't know. And if I've got solar, it makes so much sense to get batteries, but batteries traditionally have been very pricey. Well, because of the growth of the electric vehicle car market, battery capacity is growing. It's increasing. Hold on, I got to take a sip of water here. Excuse me. So with the growth of electric vehicle charging, battery capacity has increased and costs have come down. The second thing that we're seeing is utility incentives. Before utility incentives, I'll say that battery capacity is eligible for a 22% federal tax credit in 2021. So that is very exciting. So a traditional generator does not have a federal tax credit. It has nothing. You just Just pay it. Plus, you've got the ongoing expense of fueling it, right? Battery, when paired with solar, is eligible for a 22% federal tax credit, which is very exciting. That's your federal $56.95. It's a dollar for dollar tax credit. Every dollar you pay in federal, you're eligible to get back up to 22% of the gross installation cost. If you don't pay taxes until the end of the year and then just pay what you owe, this would offset what you owe. Okay. But the more exciting incentive that we're so psyched about is the utilities. The utility incentives, the Connected Solutions program just launched about 3-4 months ago in New England, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island. It's called Connected Solutions. And if you're with Eversource or National Grid in Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, the utility company will actually pay you to access storage capacity from your battery during peak demand events. What does that mean? If the grid's stable in the summertime, there's huge amounts of demand on the grid. Everybody's got their air conditioners on. Like, I don't know about you, but this June was really, really hot where I'm at. Everybody's air conditioners were on, way more than average. So all of that demand becomes significant on an aging grid. Traditionally, if the need or demand on a grid increases, a utility company will have to create a peak or a feeder plant to help turn on during summer months to give additional power to the grid where it needs it the most. Those are very costly to buy and to fund and develop. So what the utility company said is, wait a minute, as more and more of these batteries are rolled out into the marketplace, we can use the technology within the batteries, kind of a computer API, that they can pull storage capacity out of the battery and add it to the grid. And if they pull power from your battery, they'll pay you for it. So Eversource and National Grid have various, 4 and 5 year programs that they'll pay customers up to $1,000 a year to pull power out of their battery. It's optional. You can enroll into the program and cancel whenever you want. You don't have to do it. But that utility incentive dramatically brings down the cost or increases your return on investment. Get an extra $5,000 where traditionally it was never there. In Vermont, they have the BYOD, or Bring Your Own Device program, which is with Green Mountain Power only at this time. But they'll actually give you an upfront payment of $850 per 1,000 watts for a 3-hour discharge per kW. So for every kW they pull out of your device for a 3-hour session or a 3-hour discharge, they'll give you $850. So that again is significant, and that I believe is a 10-year program. So the nice thing is, if you're not using your battery, it traditionally would just be sitting there. That's when the utility company will pull from it. They cannot pull from it during a grid down situation. And you can also set the depth of discharge, so it gives you peace of mind knowing that at least you'll always have a certain level of charge in your battery. Again, optional, but for somebody that wants to get a battery, but the upfront cost is just not quite what they were hoping it would be, these programs can dramatically offset that. So pretty exciting on that front. All right. Well, I can't take questions. I was hoping that on the upper left-hand side of your screen, you'd be able to click chat to enter a question, but I don't see that. I'm going to toggle over in a minute and see if we can do that. Again, I really appreciate everybody joining us. Everybody's so busy these days, so for you to take 45 minutes and join me today means a lot. If you'd like to get a free quote on a battery or solar array plus battery, reach out to us at apexsolarpower.com or give us a shout directly at 518-309-2786. We try to make it painless. Fill out a quick, form. One of our sales reps will reach out to you, work very consultative through a webinar, and get you a quote, usually within 24 hours. So as long as you're responsive, give us the information that we need in order to build that quote. We don't want to just do one size fits all. Let me see if I can stop sharing my screen and see who's in here and answer any questions. Let's see. Okay, Q&A. Let's see if I can do this here. Q&A. Hi, no audio at all. Okay, that's fantastic. I don't know what happened there. My audio is on. Hi, Taylor. Going well so far. Is this working? It's 12:35. Okay. Are there any incentives coming to New York? At this time, there are incentives. Okay. I don't want to overspeak, but there's been whispers. So both Tesla and Generac work very closely with the utilities that are running these connected solutions and BYOD program. And the incentive I hear is coming to New York. I don't have a date, but on good authority, both from my contacts at Tesla and Generac, the incentives are coming. So really excited about that. I don't have a date, and again, I don't have 100% confirmation. It's just that is where and what everybody is talking about is it's coming to New York. Okay, a lot of these are going kind of fast, so let me take one here. Tesla offers the Powerwall on their site. Is pricing the same? Great question. Yes, the pricing on the Tesla website is the same. However, Tesla does not give you all of the true pricing. They'll say, okay, here's the equipment and the gateway, and it's $7,000. I'm using round numbers. It's $7,000, which is true. That is what it costs before the tax credit and everything. But there are additional costs, right? We have to do a design. We have to get a permit. We have to do the inspections. So there's some additional cost. And then, of course, you have to install it. That being said, it's about the same as what you would traditionally see with a whole home standby generator. The benefit is you have 22% federal tax credit, and now you have these utility incentives coming down the pike. So very exciting, and it dramatically brings down the cost. Let's see here. I'll keep going down through some questions. The 22% federal tax credit is good for 2021, not 2020. Thank you, Rochelle. Appreciate that. So yes, the federal tax credit is good for 2021. 2020, it's actually a 26% federal tax credit. However, our pipeline is such that if you order one now, you're looking at 2021. I don't want to say, yeah, you'll definitely get the 26% and we'll definitely do it this year. It's not going to happen. There's a couple things. One, we're busy folks. We're looking into 21 for installations. That's our pipeline. But the second thing is supply on Tesla. Tesla has seen huge demand on their batteries. A, because it's a AC coupled solution. It works with any existing solar array, and Tesla's brilliant in that fact. And the second is lots of weather events in New England, wildfires out west. Anybody that's gone through a sustained power outage and they have solar, they're getting a battery. They're saying, well, wait a minute, why is my power going off here? I need a battery. So all of that demand has basically put strain on the production. Now, that being said, the Gigafactory out in Nevada, which is Tesla's largest production plant, just opened up another production arm, and we're starting to see production of the Powerwall here in New York at the Buffalo plant. So I don't. I feel like the delays we're seeing right now in production with Tesla are going to be ending very soon, just because the production is ramping up. Let's see here. Let's get another question. I have solar in New Jersey installed by Apex. Thank you very much for your business. I have 2 arrays for close to 22 kW. I need 2 Teslas. How often typically would you be able to run solar battery before depletion? Again, great question. It all depends on the load requirements of that home. With 2 Tesla Powerwalls, you're looking at about 27,000 watt hours of battery power. So I would recommend, and I'm not trying to give you just a canned response, I would recommend doing a quick form fill on our website. Reach out to one of my reps, and we'll take a deeper dive into your needs and see exactly how long 2 Powerwalls would last. So are there going to be better incentives when battery technology is implemented? I don't see better incentives happening. I mean, I just see it being more widespread. The Connected Solutions program or the BYOD program in Vermont are really aggressive. And I see more need from the utility to be able to take and utilize that stored capacity. So I don't see it getting better. I just see it being implemented wider throughout the United States. And I see it trickling down. Like right now, it's only the largest utility providers: the National Grid, EverSource, Green Mountain Power. I see it being more widespread. All of them: Con Edison, municipal power companies starting to jump on and say, "Wait a minute, that's a really good idea. I'm gonna give our customers that value as well." Let's see. If I have an Apex Solar and Tesla walls, can I use my generator currently for power outage to charge the battery? Unfortunately, with a Powerwall, that will not happen. But if your solar goes down and it's not enough solar to continually charge your battery, which I don't know, if we designed it, we're going to make sure that it's sized properly so that doesn't happen. But if it did, then basically your automatic transfer switch, which you have now for your generator, is just going to sense, okay, first it doesn't have grid power, then it doesn't have battery power, it needs the generator, and then it's going to turn on like it would right now for you. It's not going to charge the battery on the Powerwall, but again, if your solar is charging your battery, then the generator is going to sense that the battery has power and turn itself off. So it's kind of a reverse, and it'll still function and give you lots of security and comfort. I apologize for my phone. I kept it on in case there were any issues. My wing woman, Erica Martin, who heads marketing, was going to give me a call if there was any issues, so I kept my phone on. I apologize for the interruption. Let's see here. I have Apex solar panels on my roof already. Anyway, I can use my EVs that have combined 100 to do the same thing. Great question. So if you have an electric vehicle in your yard and it's got storage capacity, on the residential level, there is what you would need. What you're talking about is bidirectional electric vehicle charging. Whether you pull from the home to charge your car, or in a grid down situation, pull from your car to power the home. That's bidirectional electric vehicle charging. It is taking place at the fleet level. I'm seeing a lot with school buses. I know the Kingston school district has that on their school buses. Will it actually power and eliminate peak demand on the school from their school buses? Because their school buses are electric and they sit during the day for about 5 hours, and that happens on a commercial level. Residential, there is a company that's developing it, and it's in Europe, and I believe it's in Asia. but it has not hit North America and passed UL testing so far. But that possibly is coming down the road. I don't want to speak too much more about that, but it's pretty cool technology. Let's see here. Rather than using this system as a backup system, is it realistic to use it as a way to be off the grid at night and to closer to net zero? Yes, you can certainly do that. And again, it kind of is modeled after the time of use, right? So rather than giving your power back to the grid, and maybe your system provides way more power than you need, and you're already at a net metering credit where you have a surplus. Well, that surplus credit would be more valuable if you used it just by using your battery. It's also good to cycle your battery, so using it like that is smart. Yes. Does adding the battery affect National Grid credits and SRECs your system produces? So that's a good one. Does adding the battery affect National Grid credits and SRECs your system produces? That's for a customer must be. Thanks, Jack. That must be in Massachusetts, where they had SRECs, and or maybe Jersey. No. The short answer is no. Any kilowatt hour that is produced and generated and out to the grid through your meter, that's how your SRECs are created. So if there's a portion of your solar that is obviously being allocated for your battery, then it may decrease the amount of SRECs that you get, but then again, you're getting that value in your battery, and it all depends on the frequency in which you're discharging that battery. Hope that answers that question. How long of an outage would the battery last before discharge? All depends on what loads we put on that battery. In most cases, when we size this, we size it with the loads to at least give you one full day of battery backup solution. But again, if you say, I lose power a lot and I lose it for 3-4 days, we're going to say, let's just put smallest amount of priority loads on that battery so it takes that battery capacity and stretches it the furthest amount of time for you. Or you can say, wait a minute, I need a couple batteries, and we'll work with you on that. So again, it depends on what's critical load, what's important to you. And again, you can kind of crawl, walk, run. You can start with one battery and you can add another battery. It all depends. Let's see here. Will the Tesla Powerwall power a geothermal heating and cooling system when grid is down, and for how long? Thanks, Roger. Appreciate that, and appreciate you joining today. The answer is yes. So one Powerwall is only 25 amps, 5,000 continuous watts, and 13.2 thousand watt hours. With geothermal, you're going to need at least 2 Powerwalls to give you that 50 amp or double pole breaker capacity for that geothermal. And as far as the duration, that all depends on, I'd really ask you, contact us, Roger. We'll look at the make and model of your geothermal system, the frequency of it. Are you using it for cooling? Are you using it for heat only? And we'll kind of dial it in for you. So, are tax incentives still available if the batteries are at a year or 2 after the solar system was installed? Yes, the federal tax credit is not contingent on the duration in which you've had solar. So as long as you add, I'm not an accountant, and that form is the federal 5695. You can look up the instructions or the actual form itself. To my knowledge, it is not contingent on how long you've had solar. It's just whether it's charged off solar. If you got a battery and charged it just off the grid, you would not be eligible for the federal tax credit. The federal tax credit is fully designed to be taken if paired with solar. As long as it's paired with solar, you get the 22% federal tax credit. If there's a power outage and it's sunny, will the battery continue to recharge? Yes. So your home will basically, the main service panel through the inverter will power your loads off of the direct power from the sun. If you have a surplus of power being produced, like right now it's a little overcast, my 9,000 watt array out there would definitely be taking care of the house. It may not have enough to charge the battery, but the battery would probably already be charged. But yeah, the answer is yes there. Any incentives from NYSEG? At this point, unfortunately, there is no connected solutions incentive through NYSEG on storage. Hopefully that changes. Again, Roger, great question. Hopefully that changes as we go into the future. I know National Grid, they've been talking about, they're running the Connected Solutions program in Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Connecticut. They're talking about doing it here in New York. I have not heard anything from NYSEG or Con Edison or Central Hudson at this point, but it would not surprise me if they jumped on and did it as well in the near future. Let's see here. Am I a good candidate for a Tesla Powerwall if I customarily use all of the solar energy I produce during most months? Yeah, I mean, the answer is yes. You basically are going to put a little bit of power into your Powerwall and give you the comfort, safety, and security that you're looking at that you need when the power goes out. So the answer is yes. Any incentives for New Hampshire for Eversource customers? New Hampshire, not at this time. You know, these things come out pretty fast and furious because it is Eversource and Eversource is running it in Massachusetts and Connecticut. It wouldn't surprise me if they rolled it out in New Hampshire. So hopefully in the near future there, but nothing as of yet right now in New Hampshire. Let's see here. Go back up to some of the earlier questions. I got a few minutes. Okay. William said, going well so far. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate it. Can you see this Q&A box? Unfortunately, I couldn't see the Q&A box when I was giving my presentation because I was behind my PowerPoint. But this is the first time we've done this, so it's pretty cool. Hopefully, I'll dial it in for future ones. Again, look for this. We'll send out emails and reminders. Thank you very much, Erica and my team, for putting this all together. We'll do roofing in the future. We'll do some residential electric vehicle charging. But if there's other topics that you want to learn about, or these lunch and learns are great. I didn't get any lunch, but hopefully you did. And if there's other topics you'd like to learn about, don't hesitate to shoot us an email. My email address is tkimbrell, TKIMBRELL @apexsolarpower.com. Let's see here. Will there be a replay available? Yeah, I recorded this, so I think we're going to send it out. Send it out as long as it came out pretty decent, So we'll look for that. I don't see why we won't. Any hint of battery incentives, New Jersey? Right now, there's incentives for New Jersey storage on commercial, not residential at this time. So if you've got a commercial business and you want to help shave some peak demand or shave your demand charges, storage capacity storage incentives on commercial in New Jersey is applicable. It's not on residential at this time. Thanks. Good webinar. Awesome. Marvin, thank you very much. Appreciate that feedback. All right. We are at, one more. What's the projected life of the Tesla Powerwall? Time will tell. We really don't know. They're warrantied out for 10 years. I kind of think of it almost as solar, right? Solar, your modules are warrantied out for 25 years, but they last for 40 plus years. In fact, one of my colleagues, John Charamella, installed his first solar array in 1974. That's 46 years ago. And that system is still producing power. So I like to think that these batteries are going to work. I mean, look at the Tesla automobile. I mean, you put 100,000 miles and it's like brand new. So um, they're warrantied out for 10 years. I can't really say much more than that, but I'm optimistic at the efficiencies and Tesla as a company. So not exactly sure. Can the batteries charge on solar and the grid? The answer is they need to charge off of solar first. That's how you are able to take the federal 22% federal tax credit. You saw that slip there. I almost did 26. 22% federal tax credit if charged by solar. However, if there was no solar available, yes, there is a mode within the Powerwall that can be switched to grid charging. Yes. However, again, to qualify for the federal, solar charging is the priority. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate it. Thank you very much, Taylor. Very informative. Appreciate it. Thank you. Like so much new technology, are prices coming down significantly over the next year? Great question. I like so much new technology, are prices coming down significantly over the next year? It's funny, if you would have asked me that question, 3 years ago, my answer was yes. Storage capacity increasing, costs coming down. I don't really see it, to be honest with you, because demand is so great. It's supply and demand. The prices are stable. I don't see them going up, but I'm not sure I see them going down. What I do see is hopefully a continuation of the federal tax credit, maybe get reinstated back to 30% it once was. That'll be helpful. And then I see more of these utility incentives coming down the pike to help offset the cost, rather than it being a 4 or 5 year program, doing a longer program like 10 years, like Green Mountain Power does in Vermont. That brings down the cost. But if production increases and demand is keeping up with production, then we could see a drop in prices. But I really don't know. I don't have my magic wand or my crystal ball, but I would say prices are going to hold about where they are right now for the next few years at least. All right. Well, we are at 1:00. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining today. Again, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day. If you'd like a quote, apexsolarpower.com/battery backup. And with that, I'm going to go grab a sandwich. Enjoy your day. Thank you, everybody.